Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome. My name is Lee Cara, and this is Unleash Your Light right here at the Akashic Academy. It is so nice to see everyone here today. I hope you're having a fabulous week. I'll be honest with you, the energies have been a little rough this week. They're kind of a little bit heavy, but I'm no expert, but I heard it's because of this full lunar eclipse that we're having and the blood moon and all this kind of good celestial stuff that's way above my pay grade. So I heard you should buckle up and hang on to your seats because it's going to be a good opportunity for you to work on some stuff, right? So I want to welcome you guys to the show. Unleash Your Light is all about overcoming those emotional obstacles that keep you separated from your own divinity. Good morning, Rena. Welcome. I'm going to take just a minute. I guess I am broadcasting live because Rena found me, right? Feel free to say good morning. Introduce yourself to the group. I'm so excited to be here today. And this is something that literally came up in my own circle of experience. And I always feel like the universe tells me exactly what to talk about. Good morning, Katrina. Good morning, Mary. Wait, I missed one here too. Good morning, Brenda. So nice to see you guys. Let's just do one or two more. I hope you're sharing out with your friends. This kind of stuff, if you're in the awakening, this kind of stuff is so important to feel. Perfect, Katrina. I love that. It's so important to share. Good morning, Dwayne, because there's so many people out there that know that something's off, but they don't quite know what. Oh, thanks, Rita. Mwah. They know something's off in their life, but they don't quite know what. Good morning, Tanya. Or good night, Tonya. Good morning, Sue. They feel like something's wrong, but they're not quite sure. They're not religious. They're not spiritual. They don't really know what feels off, but something's not quite right in their lives, right? If you know someone like this, start sharing this kind of stuff with them until they tell you to stop. Because you know what I find is even the videos that I wouldn't consciously say, oh, I want to watch this, they tend to pop up. They tend to pop up in the weirdest places. And I'll be like, well, what is this all about, right? So then I click on it and I kind of skip a few minutes in and I skip a few minutes in. And all of a sudden, the video is saying something that I need to hear. And I'm like, I did not think that I needed to hear this. But as soon as that person started speaking, they hit me that way, right? This happens all the time to us in the awakening, and we recognize it, right? But with people who are our friends, people who aren't quite in the awakening yet, that's why it's important to send this stuff to them. Oh, yay, Mary's in Georgia, originally from Alaska. Mwah. I love Alaska. I have a friend who, I've never been there. I always want to go, but I have a friend who was from there, and I met her at the nudist resort because I used to work there, and I call her my Alaskan sunshine. She was just the happiest person that I'd ever met, even though she'd been through such amazing trials in her life. So people from Alaska kind of hold a special place in my heart, Mary. So much love to you. All right, let's jump into this. One of the things that I put in this title of this post is to take a look at yourself. And what I wanted to put was take a good long look at yourself. Take a good long look at yourself. Hi, Sapir, how are you? What do you see? Who are you? And I know we get a lot of questions. We get a lot of answers, rather, especially in this community. I am a divine being housed in a mortal vessel. I am love. I am light. All that kind of stuff. That's all beautiful. That's all true. That's all relevant and means something. But every day, no matter what your spiritual practice is, every day we wake up mortal. Every day we wake up human. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Rena, I put up a crazy picture of Hippie. That's his name. His name's Hippie. And from the Cove, yeah. They do know how to have fun, that's for sure. Every day we wake up human, we wake up mortal, and we go to work, or we take care of the kids, or we do what we need to do. Or believe me, I saw people who more than their thighs rubbed together, let me tell you. I mean, the average age at the nudist colony, the nudist resort that I went to, they don't like the term colony, but the nudist resort that I used to work at, the average age was 50 to 60, usually. Winter times, 60 to 85. My oldest customer was early 90s. So it's not about how you look. It's never about how you look, which is interesting because the first thing I'm asking you to do is take a look in the mirror, right? It's not about how you look. It's not how you physically look. So you get all these answers, you get all these la answers. Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Elizabeth. About being light and being love and who are you and I'm this divine being and blah, blah, blah. All true. But really, when you wake up human, it's very beneficial for you to have a clear picture of who you are. Who you are in your mortal vessel. Who you are as you go through your daily life. What's in your mind? Know thyself, as they say, right? You know what happens when we don't know ourselves? You know what happens when we can't quite get to that point where we really know ourselves? I had a conversation with a friend a few months back. I did a whole show on it because it just made me cry. And she's a very busy lady and she works and she's got 2 boys and, she's got a husband that travels for work. So she's always juggling a million things and she just isn't happy. And I said to her, take a minute. What does happiness look like to you? Do you know she didn't have an answer? She said, I have no idea. And I said, well, don't think about something you can achieve. Don't think about something you think that you can get to. Just if you could magically poof, what would happiness look like to you? She had no idea. It was the saddest thing that I heard in a long time. This person I've known for many, many years couldn't even describe what happiness looked like to her. Very, very difficult to find happiness if you don't know what it looks like. If you can't program that into your GPS because you don't know what it looks like for you. So, why are so many of us so confused about what we really want? Where are we actually going? How do we make a decision? I'm so torn between 2 things. I don't know what to do. I want to make that person happy. I want to make that person happy. Good morning, Barb. Good morning, Angela. There's so many different factors coming into our head at all times, right? So how do we figure out what the heck do I want? What makes me happy? What makes me tick? Who am I? Who the hell am I? And through my awakening over the last year and a half or so, I've had an opportunity to sit with myself alone. One of the big things, I think I talked about this a little bit last week, was defining myself for myself. Became almost like a mission for me. And when I say defining myself, I don't mean this is exactly what I am. I mean, even having an idea of who I was at my core. In our lives, we tend to settle. We tend to say, well, this isn't ideal, but I guess it's okay. It makes that person happy. It pays my bills. We tend to settle. We tend to accept less than what we truly want, who we truly are, what we truly deserve. So how do we figure this out? This is the most important thing. I think on this path to unconditional love of self. Unconditional love of self will give you every clear answer that you need when you get to that place. Because you accept yourself, You love yourself. You listen to your own opinion. You put yourself first. It's not selfish to put you and your needs and what you want first. At the very least, to consider them first. It is not selfish. So how do we clear up all this confusion when everyone is giving us their opinion? Everyone wants us to do something different. Everyone wants us to be as they see us. Everyone wants us to fulfill their image of who we are. How do we do that? How do we do that? When you're trying to be 100 different people to 100 different people, you're never going to be you. Be honest with yourself. That's how you get there. You be honest with yourself. Good morning, Teresa. You can white lie, you can fluff, you can lie to other people, you can put on your mask and be one person of this person and one person of this person. I learned this very well working in restaurants for 27 years. I would feel like garbage and I would put on my happy face and smile and be happy all day long, 10 hours, 12 hours, depending on my shift, to my other employees, to all the customers, to all these beautiful people who've been at Disney World, and I would put on my mask. And I would tell myself, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. Be honest with yourself. To overcome this constant questioning that you have in your head of what the hell do I do next? What's going on? What can I do? Be honest with yourself. You can lie to everyone in the world, but don't lie to yourself. You can present yourself however the heck you want to, but be honest with yourself about who you are and what you really want and what's really driving you. Yes, Kathy. I'm going to be reaching out to you soon, Kathy. So much love to you, darling. It is a challenge and it is draining. And many of us carry that every day. We go home and we try to be everything to everyone in the house. And then we get out with our friends, and especially being in the awakening, being one of these people who feels everyone's emotions, you want to help everyone. So now you've added another layer. Be honest with yourself about what makes you tick, about what you want, about what's going on in your heart, what gives you joy. Everything, in every way. Whether it's something as simple as the music and the TV and the books you read. Do you find yourself watching TV, watching whatever the other person wants? Do you find yourself reading books because somebody told you, oh, this is a good book to read? And because they're reading it, now you want to have something to talk about. So you read it anyways. And even if you're not liking it, you'll keep reading it. So that person will still talk to you about that book. When we are trying to be 100 different people to 100 different people, there is one thing that all of that has in common. You're doing that because you want love and approval. You want love and approval from those people around you. And you will do it to your own detriment. You want the love and approval of the people around you more than you want to honor yourself. And this isn't true with every relationship. This isn't true with every situation. But you know out there who you are, the ones that settle, the ones that take less than what they deserve, the ones that stay in toxic relationships, the ones that continue to allow people to marginalize them, to make them feel less than. I know you're watching. I see you out there. Be honest with yourself about who you are and what you actually want. How do you do this? It's so hard to make decisions and to figure out what the heck is going on in your head without taking anyone else into account. Because we do want love and approval from others. We are fearful that if we speak up and say, I don't really like this restaurant. I know we've been going here for 10 years, but I kind of hate it. Can we go somewhere else? That the person that you're with is going to go, nope, I'm going to go to this one. You go wherever you want. We have this fear that if we show our authentic self, if we show what we really want, that people will walk away. Good morning, Emily. That people will turn their backs on us. That people will no longer approve of what we're doing and will be judged and will come up lacking. And all of this ties in to unconditional love that you have for yourself. Because when you love yourself unconditionally, you have no need for the approval of others. You have no need to be constantly worrying about whether you are loved. Because you know that you're loved to your core by you. You know that you are loved to your core by the light, by that connection with the universe, by the collective. You know that you are the most beloved and the most special and the most amazing. You recognize that you are an expression of perfection in your every imperfection, and you love every minute of it. This is what unconditional love of self does for you. And that is my very favorite topic, y'all. When you have that, it allows you to be completely honest with yourself. It allows you to say, I don't like vanilla. I like pistachio. And if people go, ew, pistachio, why would you like that? What's wrong with you for liking pistachio? It doesn't bother you. Even if someone says, I can't be friends with someone who likes pistachio, what's wrong with you? Well, I love you. I still like pistachio. I forgive you. Thank you for telling me you can't be friends with me because I like pistachio. I hope you'll change your mind. Hello, Brenda. Yes, Emily, this is all, you know, these things come in waves, and we have this new moon coming, and I read up a little bit about it. It's way above my pay grade. But it's talking about those shadow parts of ourselves that come up. It's talking about renewing who you are. I read something about some gate opening up in the early August. Like I said, this is all way above my pay grade. They tell me to talk about emotions. But this stuff that comes up, this is a good time to define yourself for yourself. But defining yourself with an open mind, right? Because what we are changes from moment to moment to moment. Literally right now, you're not the same person you were at 10 o'clock, 10:03 when I started the broadcast. You've changed. And by the time I finish the broadcast at 10:36 or 7, sorry, Emily, you'll be a different person again. Defining yourself for yourself is more about really knowing who you are, what you like, what makes you tick, what are you passionate about, with no one else's input, with no one else weighing in on what you should be, who you should be, without worrying about who you're going to piss off, who you're going to upset, without worrying about who's going to be left behind in your life, who's going to walk away. The person that you will live with for the rest of your life is you. And the person that you need to earn their approval is you. And the person that you need to love you more than anything is you. Because when you can learn to love yourself, when you get that approval from inside, when you get that love from within you, it makes things so much simpler. You don't waffle on decisions. You don't get stuck in a rut. Last week, I did a whole show about repeats, reruns, and roundabouts. I did it right here. You could probably scroll down to find it. And it was all about how we get stuck in these ruts. And when we're stuck in these ruts, we believe that that is our permanent state of being. We believe that the situation that I'm in right now, right this moment, this is forever. This is how it's going to be always. I'm just going to be miserable and lonely and fat and whatever it is going on in your life. I'm just going to be that forever. And this is terrible. And nothing can ever change this. Stuck in the roundabout, stuck in the repeat, stuck in the stories. And why do we do that? Why do we get stuck in that? Because we fear. Because we fear. We fear stepping out of the roundabout. We fear the road less traveled. We fear stepping forward and being judged. We fear losing approval. We fear losing love. Was it from the Doors movie? There's only love and lack of love. When you love yourself, you're not dependent on the opinions of others. One of the examples I use a lot when I talk about unconditional love of self is, are you a person that when you come down and you're all dressed to the nines, makeup or whatever it is that you do to make yourself look beautiful, you come down looking cute, feeling yourself, right? And you walk into a room full of people, not one person notices. Nobody compliments your new dress. Nobody says you look handsome. Nobody tells you your hair looks cute, even though you spent 2 hours on it. Nobody does any of that. Does that ruin the rest of your day? Do you then walk around with a puss on, like a face? Are you then grumpy? Is that where it takes you? When you have that from within, you don't care who compliments you. That's just icing on the cake, because you are the cake. You are the icing. You are the decorations. And you're able to be free. Yeah, Emily, I was too. And all last week and all this week, I've really been struggling with myself. I had a birthday this month, and I turned 48. And between the birthday and the physical stuff and all the circumstances going on, I was like, why am I being presented with this again? Why am I judging myself so hardly? It's popping up again. My friend Teresa LaPrey did a show about it last weekend. It's popping up for a lot of us. It's like one last push, although I won't say last push, because we'll probably go through this again and again and again as we clean this out. It takes time. And a lot of these pieces, I've used an analogy before. A lot of these pieces, these things that we hold on to, these moments of self-judgment and these moments of needing approval and these hurts and pains that we've been through, they're kind of like glass in your arm, right? I had a car accident when I was 17 years old. And the window on my side completely shattered. Little tiny pieces. Needless to say, this was 1987, and I was driving a 76 Olds Cutlass. So it was a little bit of an older car. The whole window shattered into tiny little pieces, and it sprayed my whole side, right? And when I went into the hospital, I wasn't really hurt. They said to me, well, we can't really pick that glass out. It embedded itself too deep. But as you grow, as your skin regenerates, those pieces of glass are going to rise to the top, and you'll be able to brush them off. And I see these repeats of these old issues. I see these repeats of these old things coming back to us in this time period as that glass rising up to the surface from these old wounds, from these old places where we used to spin around and around and around on our roundabouts, where we used to get stuck in our stories, where we've worked on it so hard. And they're coming back to the surface now. And when these old issues arise, the thing you have to do more than anything is love yourself. Love yourself. Lovingly pick every piece of glass that comes to the surface. Give it a kiss. Forgive yourself for getting in that accident and getting that glass embedded so deeply. Toss it away. By learning to love yourself unconditionally, by learning to embrace who you are, by giving yourself that approval and that love, you will find yourself free to really embrace you, your true nature, without the input of 1,000 different people. Who you are, what you want, what does your happiness look like? Love yourself enough to figure that out, to be honest with yourself, even if it means that your truth hurts the people around you. Oh, thanks, Barb. Hi, Solicito. Oh, what a pretty name. I like that. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Kimberly. Even if your truth and you being who you are, the beautiful, purposeful being of light, even if embracing your true path means that some people will be hurt, offended, scared, freaked out even, you have to stand in your own truth. You have to live with yourself your entire life. Hi, Suzanne. Well, that's okay. You have to live with yourself your entire life. So you are the person you should love more than anyone else. Oh, thanks, Emily. Be honest with yourself. Even if you are never honest with anyone else in this world, you have to be honest with yourself. Not that I'm advocating that you should lie, but there are some truths that we just don't share, right? Oh my. Speaking of the Akashic Academy, y'all, I'm pushing up on my time. Thank you, Solicito. I'm pushing up on my time here. Absolutely. Don't beat yourself up. The second step in Unleash Your Light is be nice to yourself. That's a good one, right? So right here at the Akashic Academy, this is the public page that you're watching me on, or I have shared it from this public page. Oh, June's been wearing a rose quartz. June, look what I have in my hand. I hold a rose quartz every time I do a show with you guys. This is the one that they tell me to pick up for shows like this about unconditional love of self. So that's a beautiful thing. Mwah. Right here at the Akashic Academy, you're watching me, or I've shared this from the public page, okay? We have amazing broadcasting on this page. Let me tell you, our director, Emily Harrison, has set up some incredible people to be here. Kathy Homeyer, who was on here, Rena, who was on here, just incredible. And there are so many new shows coming down the pike. Let me tell you, we just added so many of them. I can't even name them all. I'm really excited about Brad Johnson and Cara Melody. I don't know that I'm saying her name right. It's just so exciting. Kirlani came on. Sifu Boggy. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But there's so many amazing things. Just today, so I was on at 10 a.m. You can always find me here at 10 a.m. on Thursdays. At noon, you're going to have to come back and watch Rena with the Rainbow Bridge. She does some amazing, like you close your eyes and you just like listen to her voice and she takes you on a journey. I mean, it's amazing. And then at 7, we have Sacred Chakra Flow with Andrea, and she knows so much about crystals and your chakras and your energy fields. And she's just like a fountain of knowledge, this woman. And she knows how to like stick it all together and just in a real way. So matter of fact, I just love her so much. Oh, yes. Isn't it amazing? So right here, you're on the public page. You can get all this information alone. See, look, I'm just reading that thing. Bob lives in an apartment alone. Myself is asking to come over. What crystal should you use? Tune in tonight to Andrea. I'm no crystal expert. I just grab what feels good to me. So right here on the public page, you can see all these shows, right? But there is another page. There is an exclusive group on the inside that Emily runs. There's so much more amazing stuff in there. She does these great guided meditations. There's channeling. Coach Nick does a show called Mindful Mondays, and we are adding so much new stuff. It's going to explode very, very soon. So you want to get in on this. If you go to the akashicacademy.com, you can sign up for that exclusive group. The exclusive group is $11.11 a month or $100 for an entire year. And I have found so much value there. It has expanded me so much more on my journey in the couple of months that I've been doing this. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Yes, Sapir, so many of us are empaths, right? And it's so easy to push our love and our care and our unconditional love on others. We got to turn that back on ourselves, right? Turn it back on yourself. So when you go to the akashicacademy.com, you can sign up and you can get an email. And let me tell you something, she doesn't spam. We don't get a million emails a week, 1 or 2 a week with really great stuff in it, with reminders about the shows, with something new. One that always tickles me is Emily sent out an email that says, I don't want to get all Dr. Phil on you. I just love that. So sassy, Emily. You can also get the magazine. There's an Akashic Academy magazine that you can download, and they come quarterly. I had an article in the last one. Andrea, who's on tonight, had an article in this one that just came out recently. Thanks, Barb, so much. Yeah, you guys talk to each other in these comments because it'll come up and you can help each other that way. When you reply to someone, they get a notification. So like Bob had a question. If you write to Bob 2 days from now and reply to his thing, he'll get a notification and you'll be able to help him. That's what's so amazing about this community. You're not alone. We're all here for each other. All right, so where can you find me? I have a group called Unleash Your Light. I have a page called Unleash Your Light. I have a website called unleashyourlight.org. I have 2, count them, 2 free books there that you can download in PDF copy. One is called Unleash Your Light, and it's easy steps that you can take to transform yourself, to connect with that divinity inside of you. It's simple, but not easy, because transformation is never easy. I would say transformation is a little less like a butterfly and a little more like American Werewolf in London. If you haven't seen the transformation scene in that, you should definitely YouTube it and then start on your journey. And the second book is called Simple Spirituality of Self, and it's all about learning how to love yourself unconditionally. And I literally break down the different emotions that keep us from really embracing ourselves, from depression to anger to jealousy to shame to guilt, all of these things that we hold on to and rationalize. This is why I'm not good enough because of XYZ, and how to get past those and how to break them down. They're very simple. They're short books. They're both like 30, 40 pages-ish. And it's written exactly the way I talk. I am a simple girl with a simple message, and both of my books are simple too. I absolutely will put the info on here. I'll come back in and put a little link there, and I'll actually, Deb favored one, Wiley. I'll make sure I reply directly to that one with the connecting info. I love you guys so much. I always push up on my time, but right after this, I'm going to sit down on my couch. This is me. If you type in my name to Facebook, I should pop right up, because I think that I may be the only Lee Cara on Facebook. I'm not 100% sure, but at the very least, I'm the one that pops up if you've been watching me in this type of a thing. So you can go over, my page is public, and I'll sit on my couch and we'll chat a little bit more about this topic. I get a little more informal, and I have my coffee in my gigantic coffee mug that's almost as big as my head. And we just dig into it a little bit deeper for another half hour or so, okay? I love every single one of you. Remember, you can find me here on Thursdays at 10 a.m. and tune in here a little bit more. Go to the akashicacademy.com and dig around a little bit. See if it feels right for you. It's your journey. It's your path. Be honest with yourself about what you want. It's really important. I love you guys. I will see you on the couch, and I will see you next week. Enjoy this full moon. Woo! It's gonna be a bumpy ride, y'all.